Okay, looking at moderate puzzle number 2. Here's my 9s. Not telling me too much. I think I'm going to skip notating that. I don't see anything that really gets cut down to just 2 options. I see several that cut down to 3, but I'm going to skip that for now. The 8s, definitely skipping that. Moving to the 7s. Okay, at least these 2 columns are knocked out, so that gets us down to just those 2 options. This knocks out that column, so it gets us down to those options. That row and this column are knocked out, so we're down to those options. This column and this row are knocked out. So that leaves us really with 3, which I normally don't notate, but I will. To 6s, okay, this is nice because it knocks out that row, which forces us into this column. So this knocks out this row, and this knocks out this column, which forces us into this column. So now we know for sure this has to be in this column, can't be the top one of those 2. When we combine that over here, these 2 columns are out, that row is out, so the only thing left is here, which then makes that one clear. Here we have this row and this column. So that means this has to be one of these 2, which then knocks that one out, and it's got to be there. This can be here, here, or here, and it makes a set. I'll actually show it. So it's got the side-to-side set with that, and the up-to-down set with that. So that's a 3-way set. The 5s. These 2 columns are canceled out, so it's got to be in the middle column. This is canceled out, so it's got to be in the top row. That means those 2 rows are canceled out, and it's got to be there. These 2 rows are canceled out, it's got to be here. So not a lot of placement, but some notes. Okay, here these 2 columns and this row is knocked out, so it's got to be there. Now these 2 rows and this column is knocked out, it's got to be here, but we're going to get even more clarification, I think. Oh, maybe not. This column is knocked out, but it can still remain either one of those. And these 2 columns are knocked out, and it can remain either one of those. And we have that 3-way set happening again. Ooh, lots of 3s, that's nice. Those 2 rows are out, so there we go. We've got both of these columns out and this row, so that's that. The 2s, quite a few of them. Both of these columns are knocked out, so that's all that remains. These 2 rows are knocked out, that's all that remains. These 2 columns are knocked out, plus this row, so that's what remains. The 1s. These 2 columns and this row are knocked out, so that's what we've got. These 2 rows are knocked out, as well as that column, so we've got one of those 2 as a possibility. We've got this row knocked out, so that leaves one of those 2 as a possibility. This row, this column, so those are the possibilities there, and that knocks those out, so those are the possibilities. We've got a 4-way set on that, so it's accurate at least. All right, so still not a lot with the 9s. That knocks that one out, so I guess I'll notate that. This knocks that one out. I'll notate that. Other than that, not a lot. Let's see if the 8s can help us. This means that the 8 has to be in one of those. They're the only ones left. This knocks that out, so the 8s have to be in one of those. Still not a lot left. Let's look at these 7s. Let's see if we get more information. This obviously has to be a 7. 6s. We're going to get any help anywhere? Oh, this is helpful. Okay, so these 6s are obviously in the bottom row, which knocks this out from being a 6, and so this has to be a 6. How that is most helpful is probably in that now forced this 4, and this 4, and this 4. Because of that, that forced this 1, which forced this 1, and this 1, and this 1. And because of that one, that forced this 5. That clears that, so that 5 is there or there. This, it clears there, so it's got to be one of those. So that gave us quite a bit of information. Let's see if the 9s are clearer now. We've still got those two. We've got an upper and lower. Not a lot of clarity on the 9s. Oh, well, these two are a match set. The 5 and 9 are there. So this has got to be the 8, the only option left. That knocks out both of those rows, which gives us that as the 8. The 8 has to be on this column, because that's all that's left, which knocks out both of those, leaving an 8 up there. Now, that knocks out that, meaning the 8 has to be one of these, which makes it a matched pair with the 5, so that's clearly going to be the 7, but also it means it's in this row, which knocks that one out, gives us that as the 8, which knocked that one out, giving us that one as the 8, which knocked that one out, which gives that one as the 8, which knocks that one out, which gives that one as the 8, which knocked that one out, which gives that one at the 8. It's kind of how these moderate go. You have to find the 1 or 2 clues that will give you the keys to the kingdom kind of thing. So this is the only possible 7 left. That knocked that out. That's now the yes. This is the only place left for a 7, so that knocks that out there. That knocks that out there. Now we've got some 9s cleared up. So last one knocks that. Yes. Last one. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. 6. No. Yes. Last one. Yes. And now the 5s are what's left. There we go.